So I've got a question for you, especially for those of you who have been working with an agent for 20 plus years. And there's nothing wrong with it. Okay. Nothing inherently wrong with it. It's good to have a solid relationship. Um, are you, when you go through that policy renewal process, is the process just basically confined to, hey, let's update sales and payroll numbers and make sure you haven't add new services and equipment and whatnot? Is that pretty much all the conversation is confined to? Because if it is, you're missing a lot. Okay. Here's why. All right. Our job as your insurance agent is not just to source you out insurance. All right. Our job, at least in my opinion, all right, and maybe I'm taking it too far, but this is the world of according to Mike. All right. Stealing that from a friend. Um, our job as insurance agents is to keep you safe from all the stuff that can go on out there. All right. Now, we're not magicians. We can't prevent everything. Uh, but at the end of the day, if we can make it as unlikely as possible that something can happen to you in your business, then we've done a good job. All right. And I don't hear that often enough when I'm talking to people. Say, oh yeah, I've been with my agent for 20 years, and especially when I'm talking to them and when they're getting close to the renewal, and I'm asking, hey, so what does that process look like for you when you get up there? It's like, oh, we'll get this questionnaire and we have to fill it out and answer, update numbers and all that, and it's like, okay, so where's the risk assessment? All right, because here's what happens if you don't do a risk assessment. And maybe you don't need to do it every year. I'd argue you should do at least some kind of risk assessment every year. But maybe every 2, sometimes even every 3 years, a risk assessment is done, because it's going to provide you a couple things. One is it's going to make sure that you're in compliance with any of the state law that your insurance needs to be in compliance with. Also, it's going to point out any shortcomings in your current policy, as they reflect against societal pressures, against regulatory pressures, and against market pressures. All right, and here's what I mean by that. Everyone's been hearing about, and I've talked numerous times about how the world is changing, how the legal world is changing around employees. I know we're an at-will state, but that doesn't prevent someone from suing you. All right, so what is the risk assessment on your business around your policies and procedures, and your hiring and firing process and all that kind of stuff, and as that relates to your insurance, and if your insurance will protect you in that situation if you get sued by an employee. Another place of risk assessment can point out is your driving policies. All right, as far as managing the training and expectations with your drivers. Not even have professional drivers. It can be an HVAC company, and you still have drivers, people driving trucks around. That's a huge liability, because if someone gets injured in an auto accident, you have $1 million liability policy, and that's just your auto. That's not including your umbrella. So you have upwards of $2 million someone could sue you for in an auto situation. That's a lot of money that could really hurt your insurance, all right, and really hurt you as a business. So, those are just two basic things, and that's not even including cyber threats. That is a rapidly evolving, daily evolving thing that not enough people are talking about. So, do a risk assessment. And honestly, if your agent isn't building that into your renewal process already, you need to be asking them why, and finding a partner that is more worried about keeping you safe and less worried about marketing out your policy every year. Okay, because marketing out your policy, that's the basics. That's what we should be doing. But what we need to be doing in the world according to Mike is doing everything in the world to keep things from happening to you in the first place. All right, so risk assessments every year, do them, and make sure you and your agent are pointing out all the places that the world can hurt you in your business. All right, because we need you out there doing great things in the world and doing great things for the community. That's for what you guys do in the community. All right, we all serve the community in our different ways, so let's keep doing it. All right, so stay safe. You got questions, come back and ask me. Hit me in the comments. I'm here to help you out. You take care and stay safe. Bye.